Thoughts on your 3 days?
I thought it was a pretty productive 3 days, and good group of guys. Coaches did a good job preparing them. I thought we were pretty crisp. We got on and off the football field, saw some good things, and we'll huddle up and look at the 3 days and get an evaluation and go from there.
You got to go through 3 days worth of film on 67 players. Like that's what.
Well, I mean, we're doing it every day, right?
Right.
The coaches are doing it every day, and things start to come to the surface, pretty quickly, and but we'll get together and make those decisions.
Was the weather a factor at all? We were joking about it before, but
No.
not was.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Was good.
It's
Good.
pretty bad today.
Yeah. But not so bad that they weren't able to sort of.
No,
do
I think
things.
the guys practiced well. They did, and the men did well, and a lot of it was, especially on the offside ball, was a lot of review, for the first 2 days. So we didn't have a lot in, and wanted to let them have an opportunity to play fast on the last day of evaluation and know what they're doing and be able to line up and execute properly.
What do you say to guys at the end of a camp like this? What's the message you want to leave them with?
Just thank them for their effort. Thank them for paying attention to detail, listening to their coaches, being pros coming out on the football field, and not ready at this point to talk to any of them individually, with respect to their standing with us and those types of things. But they're pros. They understand the process.
You mentioned a few things when you go into camp. At the end, you have a sort of a checklist that'll help you go through all the footage of all the players. Is there something like specific that you look for that that'll make it easier?
Well, they've got to be a fit for our needs. They've got to be a fit for what our coaches are looking for, and how they relate to the other players around them. Right, that could be a piece of the puzzle that makes sense, and that's just not their skill set. It's also a quality individual that can learn quickly, that's smart, can adapt, and all those types of things.
Think back real quick, to when you were a player. What were you thinking about?
I can't remember that.
Can you just can you think about what was going through your mind? We're like, okay, I'm going to make the CFL. This is my thing. Like, what was going through your mind, so that you know what it's like. Like these players are what they're going through.
I think most players just realize that they can only control what's under their control. They should only focus on those things. The things that are outside of their control is really a waste of time, a waste of mental energy and emotional energy, and just come and do the best you can. Be well prepared. Let the coaches know that you understand what's going on and that you have a grasp of what they're teaching, and that you try to do it the way that they ask you to do it, and then do it to the best of your ability, and then whatever happens, happens.
What happened with Early? Early didn't kick today. Ray Early didn't kick
Yeah,
today?
he had a little injury that we didn't need to push right now, so it's not a big deal.
You've seen him when he kicked in the league last year. He's been
He was in here before too, so we've got a pretty good idea.
Probably not going to name any names, but were there any guys that had that wow factor that maybe surprised you over the 3 days?
Yeah, I want to be careful just because in case the other players that are sitting that watch this, not that they will, but just right now I just want to make sure that I don't speak ahead of time without a full evaluation of all of our guys, not just myself and what I saw, but also their individual coaches and our scouts, and do it the right way.
How much do you pay attention to other mini camps? Do you at all?
I'm sorry.
Like other teams' mini camps.
In what respect?
In terms of the players that they bring in that they're looking at.
Oh, we know who they're. We have our guys that we're interested in, and they have theirs, and sometimes there's overlap, obviously, and so it's not a perfect science, but we're certainly aware of the players that are possibly going to be a part of this league.
For any of the Canadians that you saw in these 3 days, does it change anything draft strategy-wise or identifying team needs?
I'm sorry, they got my iPod.
Rocking your beats?
Identify the song.
Yeah. Name that too. You can do it in once.
Got me.
But does it have a bearing on the draft?
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It may not. I mean, we certainly have some needs, and we want the best players available when we're drafting, but we're also gonna buttress that with our needs as well.
NFL draft, another thing to keep an eye on this weekend. Just see where guys that
Yeah, that's
might
right.
slot in. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It'll affect everybody's thoughts on our draft, and it may push some guys back. It may keep others in the forefront. Just it depends how it falls.
You've done this camp differently over the last few years. Like some years you brought in veteran guys. This year was a lot of rookies and egg-listers. Do you notice a difference? Is there pros and cons to each approach? I mean,
Well, I think the first couple of years, we were brand new, and we had a lot of new players, that were younger and new. So it was important that the more reps that they could get in our system, what was important for us, and it was important for the coaches too to get a more thorough evaluation of these guys. Now we have more of a, when I say veteran, certainly more experienced, because a lot of those young guys have played a lot of football now for us, and now we're looking to fill in holes and get better and to grow the talent base. And so we took a different approach. This was about the right time in our tenure here to take a different approach to have a higher end camp with invite players.
Good for them, these guys, to see this environment as well, to not just experience the weather, but to see how you coach, what this stadium is like, what these.
Yeah, it is important. I mean, I think it's a good point. The best, the best scenario is when it works both ways. It's players that get sold on the quality of the coaching, the environment, the quality of the players that they're with. They get a look down the hole on at least a little bit on how we do it and what we believe and the type of players that we're looking for. And we hope in many respects that solidifies with them, that we try to do it the right way and that they feel like they're a fit.
Start that cultural process as well. Sort of.
Yeah, that just happens naturally with the quality of our staff and the players. Players that are I mean, they got around our quarterbacks and other guys that have been here, so they can ask a lot of questions about things. So, but more importantly, it's to be around Orlando and Jeff and all our coaches. Is also important.
Strange without Tommy here. First time sort of doing football
I mean,
a little
it
bit.
is. I mean, I was with him for a long time. Miss him, and but I know he'll do well.
Kent, that rookie kid, Jake, the quarterback, what do you know of him? What have you seen? What kind of sort of window does he have or potential, you believe?
It's too early to say
early?
that, because he's got a lot to learn, and he's very productive in college, very productive, and he's bright. He's a good person, so he cares. I think he's from a skill set, he's a guy that fits what we do, and more specifically to certain pieces of our offense. But all the quarterbacks are kind of like that. So we'll see how he does. From camp.
Can I ask you about your kicking game? Is like from what you've seen, is it moving in the right direction, or?
Yeah, we're still evaluating it.
Evaluating.
Yeah, but we have a much better idea, I think, now than we did even prior, even after our previous kicking camp. So, but we're still in that process.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.